Right now, John Fraser, NRA ILA's Research and Information Division Director, is with us. John, how you doing tonight?
Fine, thanks, Cam. How are you?
Good. Glad you could be with us this evening.
Always a pleasure.
All right, so Friday afternoon, news broke from the White House that they were delaying this emergency requirement that the ATF had requested that federally licensed firearms retailers in California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas report the multiple sales of long guns to the ATF. What exactly did the White House say, John?
Well, they didn't really make it entirely clear what was going to happen here, and it's clearly not the end of the road for this proposal. But a White House spokeswoman said that this is that the administration wants to curb excessive regulation. And they said this is, quote, consistent with the president's call for more transparency and opportunities for public participation. Now, so that what this means on the face of it is that they simply said we aren't approving or disapproving it, but we aren't saying we aren't going to let ATF do it on an emergency basis without the full comment period. So there is still time for people to speak out. And in fact, there have been several letters sent by dozens of members of Congress, on a total of 3 letters, I believe.
Well, that's fantastic. And I've heard rumors, John, I don't know if you've heard these same rumors, that the public comments are running strongly opposed to this as well.
I don't know how those are running. I saw a website where someone claimed to have received copies, and that unfortunately there were all comments from anti-gun mayors supporting it. But so I would encourage NRA members to go online. You can just search for the Federal Register homepage and find the December 17th issue for this.
Okay.
I think we have a link on our website, but couldn't point you to it off the top of my head.
All right. Now, one of the problems with this proposal, John, that we've heard from congressmen is that Congress has not authorized the ATF to get this information.
That's right, and that's one reason that the public comment period is important. It'll give an opportunity for groups such as the NRA to point out that indeed that's the case, that there is no statutory authority for this. We would have had the opportunity to say that, but they would have already been doing it if this had been approved on an emergency basis.
Yeah. Yeah, and so this, I mean, again, it appears right now anyway that the Obama administration, that's not a concern. I mean, I've not heard President Obama address that particular aspect of the opposition to this proposal. In fact, we haven't heard anybody in the administration address that.
No, I don't think so. That's something that they normally would do internally, and if they were going to reject it entirely, they might say something to that effect. But this decision kicks the can a little farther down the road.
Okay. Now, what about the other story that's going around here? I know that Senator Grassley has sent a couple letters to acting ATF Director Ken Melson, wondering what is going on with the ATF in their tracking of firearms, given that a gun that was used apparently to kill a Border Patrol officer was one that had been monitored. The sale had been monitored by the ATF, and then the ATF, I guess, says, well, we lost track of it at some point. Can this have some sort of impact, you think, on this proposed requirement?
Yeah, there's a close relationship. I mean, the allegation here is basically, as the LA Times spelled that out, I think in more detail than any of the other major outlets. The LA is that dealers notified ATF of suspicious transactions. Called up the agency and said, "Hey, we've got an apparent straw purchase going on. These guys are buying rifles, multiple rifles in some cases, and you should check this out." And the allegation is that ATF told them to go ahead with the transactions and take down descriptions, license plate numbers, that kind of thing.
So they were told, go ahead, make the sale, and then no follow-up.
And that's the allegation, is that there was no follow-up. Now, where this ties into the multiple sales report is, of course, that if the if the agency doesn't have the resources as as its supporters claim, doesn't have the resources to follow up on this kind of real-time allegation, where the guy is actually in the store. How are they going to have the resources to deal with all of the paperwork for everyone buying 2 or more centerfire, detachable mag, semi-auto rifles in 4 states?
Yeah, that does seem kind of problematic.
Right. I mean, it's like saying, well, we can't give speeding tickets to everyone that we don't see speeding, but everyone should report every speeder you see on the highway.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things, I think it was in the Los Angeles Times story, they quoted a firearm retailer from Texas who was very plaintive about, I was working with the ATF. I wanted to help. I was doing everything that I could. And now the ATF is saying that I did something wrong by letting a sale go through that they had approved.
Right. Well, the agency very routinely. I mean, dealers very routinely make these reports. It's a unfortunate fact of life for firearms dealers that they'll have people try to make suspicious purchases, and the vast majority of dealers cooperate with the authorities and are eager to stop this kind of thing, so it only hurts our side. But when if the agency can't follow up on them, they certainly would have problems following up on hundreds, maybe thousands of additional reports.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, the public comment period continues until February 14th, and
at least there may
least.
be a later announcement of perhaps extending it. We don't know for sure.
Okay, so we've got at least a few days that we can comment if we have not done so. And again, if you go to the Federal Register for December 17th, you can find the public comment app right there, I guess.
Right there under ATF.
All right. Well, John, thank you again, sir, for coming on the program tonight. It's always a pleasure.
You're very welcome, Cam. Always a pleasure here.